Hello guys, welcome back to a new video. So today I am embracing my Halloween version of the skin. As you can see, it is very Halloween skin. Try to guess what it is. It's a clown. It's a clown. Yeah, I'm gonna be playing Bedwars, doing sort of like a commentary. I'm not really gonna be talking during the game. It's gonna be more of a voiceover. But yeah, and please, before I get any comments saying something did change about the skin. Something did change, I promise you. But anyways, enjoy, and let's get right into it. So there's genuinely a lot of topics that I want to go over during this sort of recording, because there's a lot of opinions that I have that are considered pretty weird among most people. I checked a study that said that the minimal amount of people who order their steak the way I do, or the people who order the way their steak I do, is the minority out of any of it. Most people have some form of medium or rare going on in their steak, meaning that medium rare is the most common. Sorry to all the vegans watching, by the way. Me personally, I don't know where this interest sparked from, but I like my steak well done. Just needed silence for that clip. Yeah, I like my steak well done. It's usually frowned upon in most people, including my family actually. My brother is always trying to insult me whenever we go somewhere and I order a medium or well done steak, and it's funny because he always argues that I'm missing out on some stuff. I always argue that he's missing out on well cooked and getting salmonella. It's a never-ending thing. I'm sure most people in the comments would agree on my brother's perspective instead of mine, which I'm fine with. It's the whole reason why I decided to make this video to begin with. But yeah, I find that pretty funny. Me and my brother have always sort of had a rivalry in specific topics. I think this is a good show of that. I guess it's a thing that I find weird and me and my brother constantly argue about. Well, not as constantly as that, but it's how people order their steaks for burgers. Like, me, in my mind, I always thought people like that well cooked, because the patty itself isn't really what makes the dish, I guess I could say, about burgers. In my mind, it's more of sort of the things you put on it, the things. Well, anyways, I didn't find this out until around 1 or 2 years ago, but people actually cook their burgers. That was a clean clutch. People usually cook their burgers in different ways, such as medium rare, medium well. I can't speak. I personally found that really weird. I don't know if you guys knew that. I'm assuming you did, because most people are smarter than me. So all in all, you could say that me and my older brother, disagree in a lot of different aspects, I guess you could say. This goes down to video game interest. This goes down to a lot of stuff. It's another weird topic that I like to think of is my brother is sort of musically all over the place, and that is very different from me. I am always in the one thing, and many times our genre interests are completely opposing each other. So it's pretty funny to think about. Anyways, back to the topic of meat, I guess. I'm blanking out. Sure where me liking sort of overcooked, apparently, steak comes from. I don't know why I like it like that. It's just sort of something I've liked since I was born. Actually, now that I think about it, it most probably sparks from the sibling rivalry I have. Where my brother likes one thing, I have to like the other thing. It's actually very common in a lot of siblings, in case someone hasn't noticed. This goes on in sports teams, music, as I already mentioned. It goes on in a lot of different things, and a lot of people will say this is a very dumb opinion of mine. Why do I like medium rare? My God, why do I like well done? And I know I've even seen videos in my YouTube Shorts recommended where it's basically just someone explaining why medium rare is better than well done and that kind of stuff. Apparently, you save so many. That guy's placing obsidian. Apparently, there's more juice in medium rare, like 3 times as much, because it gets cooked out when you're doing. I don't know. Don't listen to me. I'm not an expert in meat, but apparently, accordingly, that's how it goes. So, another weird thing that I noticed, still there's more, is that along with the burgers, people also apparently cook salmon and stuff like that in a different way. This is completely beyond me. I do not understand what the problem was with simply cooking. Like, this isn't even really, this is just something for people to be able to feel proud about themselves, that they, for their salmon this way. Like, personally, it makes no difference as to why people should do this. It actually tastes, in my opinion, worse when you do this. Of course, this is all my opinion on what tastes good, but I think it actually tastes worse when you undercook your fish, because that's what it is at this point. Like, I get that maybe you wouldn't get salmonella from, let's say, a steak that's undercooked, because most people have developed immunity to that. But fish, that's a definite thing that might happen. Let's just ignore sushi for a second, though. Along with this is, I remember one time I went to a restaurant, and I asked for salmon, the typical stuff you do, and the second I heard that it was an option for it to be medium rare, I was just astonished completely, because I just did not understand why people would do that to themselves, because I feel like I'm going in a circle here, but again, it's undercooked. I don't get it. Let's just watch the end of this game because it's really satisfying. That is called timing. Timing's when someone voids. Another unpopular opinion of mine that I find absolutely disgusting that it is an unpopular opinion, at least in the United States, is that soft shell tacos, if that's what you want to call them, are not as good or worse than hard shell tacos. So, me being someone raised in a Mexican household finds this completely disgraceful and disgusting that people, it's sort of like a pet peeve of mine that people actually call that a taco. Like, I don't get why it makes me mad, but it makes me really, really mad, because it's not, and the most triggering part about this is it's the people that think it's actually a taco. And I guess some people might think so. I've learned to accept that it's the American recreation of it, just as our sushi might not exactly be what the Japanese call sushi. It's sort of a reoccurring theme, I guess you could say, about it. But this is clean. It's a reoccurring theme among most dishes American people would call normal, and this is the one that specifically triggers me the most, because I'm being raised, and I was raised in the mindset that a taco is some form of protein in a tortilla. That's it. Anything else is completely optional. That's what you need for it to be a taco. And the fact that people call a weirdly shaped massive tortilla chip a taco is just disgusting and horrible to me. Actually frequently joked around about within some of my closer friends. Most of them like to mock the fact that I hate this, and whenever the topic of food or Mexican food comes up, this is always one of the first things that they say. Like if the topic of tacos ever comes up, they're like, "Hey dude, do you want a hard shell? What do you prefer, hard shell tacos or soft shell tacos?" I scared the hell out of that guy with that fireball. So it's, as I said, it's a reoccurring theme among most people. As you can tell, I'm going mentally blank. I'm gonna try to remember something else. Yeah, another one of my very common unpopular opinions is that pineapple is one of the greatest things that you could ever put on a pizza. Joking, by the way, I am joking 100% on this. I am not that much of a clown. Please understand when I say that I'm joking about this. This is just about the worst thing that you could do. This is no longer an opinion. This is just horrible. Unfortunately, a lot of people in my family disagree with that. They like something called a Hawaiian pizza, which is, I think it's ham and pineapple on pizza. Personally, I find it repulsive, but I guess my family likes it. I'm sorry to any Italian person watching this. I'm sure this is painful for you to watch. But yeah, it's the simple truth about my family. Everyone is flawed, and this is just one of those flaws that are common in people. Another topic that I hear a lot about is pickles and that kind of stuff. I don't know how specifically controversial pickles are and all that, but I have recently heard that either you're someone who loves pickles, or you either love pickles or you despise them with all your heart. Personally, I'm one of the people who prefers pickles in my life. I don't know why. It just feels like one of those foods, if you know. It's like good for most, if not all things. It's good for burgers, reconnecting to that topic. It's good for hot dogs, all kinds of Americanized foods. Get how I connected everything I've covered in one video. But yeah. Anyways, speaking about sports, something that sibling rivalry sort of, and sports, they connect in this one example where me and my brother always debated over the best sports team because we always opinionated over different teams, I guess you could say. So for example, if he was a diehard fan of Barcelona's soccer team, I would always prefer the Real Madrid. That's a Spanish soccer reference for those of you that don't know. So I guess I was like always like that. I just really contradicted my brother in many ways, and I guess that's what made me sort of who you could say I am. It is also very vital that many people understand there's a lot of controversial opinions that for some weird reason I just cannot come up with in this time that I've given myself to just come up with my weird opinions that I think are true. So anyways, I guess there's one more minute of this game, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do the outro now. Thank you guys so much for watching. One of the main reasons why I decided to make this video was because I couldn't muster the energy in me to make Skywars Final Moment 6. I need a break from so much Skywars. It's kind of weird for me to say, but if you liked it, please drop a like, subscribe. Please comment what you'd like to see in the future. Most people might assume I just say this just to say it. No, I legitimately need help with coming up with what to upload. Well, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next time.